Our next question is going to continue speaking to candidates is when is it the right time to leave your job? How do you know when it's the right time?
Yeah, when's the right time to make a move? That's a really interesting question to contemplate. I would say there's two ways of looking at this. So there are cases where something's just bad, right? Maybe maybe you work for an idiot, in which case you should probably leave. You know, the project's about to run out of money. There's no hope of saving it. You don't want to go down with the ship. Yep, there are obviously bad things that you need to get away from. But let's assume that there is nothing bad going on. It's just the project's great, the job's fine, role's good. Under that circumstance, when is it time to consider a move? And what I see is that every role has a life cycle. When you join a new team in a new role, you'll usually find there's a period of time at the beginning where everything is overwhelming. You're everything's so busy. There's so much to learn. Your head is like this. You're finishing at the end of the day and you're completely exhausted because there's just so much to take in. And that varies, but that normally lasts somewhere between 2 and 6 months. And then you settle into a bit more of a rhythm where you're still learning and progressing, and there's still a strong learning curve, but it's manageable. And you're on a sort of upward cycle. And then what will happen is, if nothing changes, if something materially doesn't change about your role, or you get a promotion or something, that learning curve will tend to gradually slow. And eventually you'll reach a stagnation point. It's a bit like Groundhog Day. I don't know if I'm aging myself here. Does anyone know what Groundhog Day is anymore?
Yes.
But every day is basically the same. Yeah, awesome movie. Yeah, the 80s were the best. Definitely aging myself there. But it's in my opinion, the ideal time to move is somewhere just before you reach that stagnation point. You don't want to leave too soon that you're leaving growth and development and opportunity on the table, but you don't want to leave it so long that you're stagnating, because the reality is people get into a comfort zone, but if you're not, it sounds really cliche, but if you're not growing, you're regressing, and you can't afford to be regressing. So I would leave at the point where you've tapped out 80% of the growth opportunity that's available.